Going to make canned pears. So installing myself at the kitchen table with all the pears. There's a few more on the counter. So I'm gonna cut these. I'm following a recipe from Pinterest. I'm cutting these in half, peeling them, cutting them in half, and well, I have to see the rest of the recipe. I'm doing it step by step, but it's, I can show you. A rainy afternoon, no, a rainy day. It's a rainy day here in Belgium, summer. I have no complaints about the summer this year. It's been very nice actually. A lot of days with 25 degrees or more. It has been a very rainy and cold spring, a very rainy winter, and a very rainy autumn last year. So I have been very happy with all the sun. But since I cannot work in my garden right now, I thought I could catch up on some kitchen stuff I would like to do. And my dad gave us all these pears from the tree at my home where I grew up, and I said, like, how is the best way I can keep them? I don't want to put them in the freezer, because if I do that we have to have like 10 freezers in a while. We already have 4, 2 for meat and 2 for vegetables, but we're only like mid-August now. There's so much more to come, like so much more vegetables, like cabbages, a lot of cabbages and courgettes. So I'm thinking, like, let's can these. I don't have a water canner, but I can in the oven. It doesn't always work, but with fruit it seems to work. So it's always a little bit tricky to do it with the oven, because I don't want to lose them, but I don't see me putting all these pears in the freezer too. So let's give it a go. This is the syrup for putting in the canning jars. I put a combination of stevia and coconut sugar. And these are all my jars. There are a few that I bought last year and a few that I got from my mom. So I have about 11 jars with this one included, and they all go into the oven. So, I got this potato field out, and actually it kind of surprises me how little potatoes there are. But I made a few mistakes. So I put the rows too close to each other. First mistake. And second mistake is that I didn't make the elevated heaps. So they have more room to make like strands with potatoes. I actually kind of knew this last one, but I guess I thought it wasn't necessary. So I learned that lesson. Now I'm putting them in baskets so I can put them in the cellar. I got a whole bucket from the greenhouse full of tomatoes, all kinds. We have the marmonde, we have the little black cherry, and then we have, I forgot the name of this one. So I planted 3 types of tomatoes. I got them from the seed and they worked really well. Last year it wasn't quite a success because the plants didn't really flourish from the start. They were like, after a couple of weeks, I think they got really like purple and yellowish, so I knew they didn't have enough nourishment from the soil I was using. And until it took a while for me to process that, because it was the first time I planted or made the tomato plants from the seed themselves. And until that time the plants were already kind of weakened, and when I planted them out in the greenhouse they didn't really took on. This year I was really elated because they took on so well from the beginning. They were so strong and green, and we have a lot of tomatoes, even though it was only getting really warm until July. Now every week I have a full bucket of tomatoes, and I transform them into a kind of tomato sauce with lots of herbs. I use rosemary, I use thyme, and I use sage, and also use onions and garlic to create like this thick sauce that I put in bottles. And I think I have already 21 of them for now, so I think there are much more to come. Maybe I will put some of them in the freezer, because sometimes it's interesting when you have you want some tomato cubes instead of the sauce, maybe to have more consistency in a dish or something. But for now on, let's make tomato sauce together.